special. Boy, have we got a treat for you. But before I tell you who we're interviewing, and the star is actually in the studio and is not dialing in, I'm just going to give you a few heads up if it's possible. You know the drill. You know how it is. Please connect with us on studio@salamradio.co.uk. WhatsApp directly. You can ask your questions. I've got a feeling there will be some calls coming in today on 07745 278 978. Please do secure that and save it in your phone so that you've got all the information so you can text us as often as you need. The studio number directly is 01733 602 133. Now, welcome back. It's Suki Wahiwala, your host. Today, this evening, we have what I call so many individuals, childhood, you could say, in one context, star. This gentleman's back history has come from real, sincere, humble roots, which is why he chose and actually really, really agreed humbly to come all the way to Peterborough, little old Peterborough, and actually be on our show with us live today. His name is Juggy D. Juggy D. He is in the studio. Now, many of you are actually, I've had phone calls left, right and centre. Kiza, I'm sure you're listening to it right now as well. Zaid and a number of other people all saying, Suki, is Juggy D coming into the studio? And the answer is yes, he's here. So for the people who are watching us live on YouTube Live, Salam Radio, and also Facebook Live, Salam Radio, he's in the camera now. You can see him. He just gave you a quick thumbs up and a hi. So Juggy is here. Now, I don't think I can really do him any justice in the conversation of what he's achieved. His connection with the chart-topping Jay Sean, Rishi Rich, and actually the project they brought together. They dominated the noughties, there is no doubt. Today, Juggy's had excellence in so many arenas, been judging in an Indian panel to one of the oldest, one of the greatest, should I say, Jaspinder Nurulaji, and our own humble, British-born, Southall-born, Juggy D was sat there on the same panel. One day I sat there and opened up watched the TV, and there he was, and I was so proud. All I could do was in glee, sharing my love with Dad, saying this is one of us representations. So, without any further ado, let me introduce. I'm going to let him do most of the talking here. Audience, team, this is the Juggy D. Welcome, Juggy.
Namaskar, salam, pyar bari, sat sri akal. Suki, thank you very much for having me.
What an amazing, I'm telling you, I'm
absolute pleasure
here. I'm sitting opposite you, and I'm still blown away.
Listen, this is what I say to everyone. I just do something a little bit different from you. I'm still insania. I'm a human being. I got 2 hands, 2 feet, just like you have. So, you know, we're all capable of what we set ourselves to do. And, you know, you can achieve anything. If you put your heart and soul into it, anything is possible.
Now, that's so beautifully said, don't you think, team? I always call the team, in specific, you know, the people with the Empower Hour, the Empower Hour followers, the people who follow myself, Suki Wahiwala, across the globe as well, the trekking. I'm very, very humbled to be here to find one of the individuals who likes to sell. I don't know whether you can remember, everybody, team, way back in the Wahiwala shop, just up the end of the top of the road when we used to sell cassettes and CDs. I'm very certain we should have some comments on this.
I used to sell cassettes too.
Did you?
Yeah, on South of Broadway. Before I became a singer. So many years ago.
On the Broadway as well?
On the Broadway, outside a shop called, I don't know if I can mention the name of the shop.
Of course you can.
Okay, so it was a shop called Punjab Textiles.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I used to stand just by the crossroads in Southall, and I used to stand there, and I must have been about 11, 12 years old. I was a young little boy, and I used to love music, and they gave me a job to sell tapes, TDK tapes, on a Saturday morning, and I went, yeah, I'll do that. And so imagine that, getting paid to sit there and listen to music all day long.
I love what you're saying.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. I started working at a very young age. I had a. I'll tell you the story about that later. We'll touch on that.
Sure.
But yeah, I just going back to what you were saying about selling tapes. But I've been there too.
If anybody knows, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. It's Punjab Textiles, right up the other end. That means right to the end.
Still there
ABC.
now.
Yeah, well, ABC used
absolutely opposite ABC. Yes,
and Multitone.
That's right. Yeah,
and Uncle Paji, who used to own both those buildings anyway, right? So superb. Well, do you know what? This is just such a humbling conversation. I'm in glee myself. And I know my listeners, my followers today are actually going to be equally as blown away with this as well. So just, I'm actually going to go straight back into that, Juggy.
Okay.
That sounded so beautiful the way you're sharing it. You know, everybody who regularly listens and people who are not regularly listening to this show, let me share with you, it'll be 26 minutes, 4 minutes advertising, and then 26 minutes again. So for the first half, what we do is traditionally we go through some background and history of all of our guests and honoured people here. Now, in this context, everybody here knows it's a no holds barred. We're genuine, we're open, it's just free flow. Everybody is listening. This is about empowerment.
Cool.
It's about sharing our openness about what we really want to achieve in life. There's going to be people listening who are having hardships in their life right now.
Yep.
There's going to be people listening who are having the best of the best part of their life right now as well. What our aim is to understand that both those areas are important in life.
Absolutely.
And how do we overcome, success
I think
and stuff?
First and foremost, sorry to interrupt you there, but first and foremost, you have to just remember each and every time that life is a lesson. You know, there's no right and wrong.
Truly.
There's no right and wrong. We do make wrongs, but every wrong you can take and turn it into a right. So, you know,
I like that. I like that, Juggy. I'd like to delve a little bit more. So
if you make a mistake, try not to make the same mistake again and learn from it. So turn that wrong into a right.
So are you saying in a real simple clarity that if we make a mistake, that it's not really a failure?
No, it's not. It's a lesson learned.
It's a lesson to be learned.
It's a lesson in life because everybody makes mistakes. We learn from our mistakes. We become better people from making mistakes. And if you think that you're a person that's never made a mistake, you're wrong. And we've all made mistakes, and we're all going to make mistakes. I've got children now, and I know that in their life they're going to make mistakes. And now I can't sit there and go, "Why did you do that?"
Yeah,
I can't. I've been born in this country. I've lived here. I've made mistakes, and I'm still, we still make mistakes, and we learn from them. So when you're children, you've just got to be there for them to help them pick themselves up from when they make a mistake. And I really do kind of really encourage my children that, listen, sometimes that, they're a bit shy to do something because they think they're going to make a mistake, right? So they don't want to do it because they think they're going to get it wrong, or they're going to make a mistake, or they're going to, and I say to them, but don't worry, try it. If you get it wrong, it doesn't matter because you're learning. You're still learning, so you're allowed to make a mistake. Don't worry about it. Don't feel fear from it. So try and teach them not to be scared of anything. And if you do make a mistake, don't worry about it. It's okay. Let's move on. Let's learn from that and go, right, okay, I won't do that again because that was wrong and it didn't work out, and allow them to make the decision themselves. Don't try and teach them that this is the right way, because it might not be the right way for them. They might have a better way of doing it.
Wow. Now that's something really interesting, because we all think we've got the best route and the best idea,
exactly.
don't we?
And especially being parents, you think you're always right. But we
are, aren't we?
That's what I said. That's what I mean. We think we're always right. And, not saying that we're not. A lot of the time we are right because we've lived it, and we're just trying to pass on that wisdom to our children because we don't want them to do the same mistakes that we did. But you have to remember that they're going to learn from their own mistakes and become people and human beings and individuals just like everybody else from their mistakes.
Yes.
So you have to let them live a little, and you have to be prepared for them to make those mistakes and be there and help them pick themselves up and move on and not feel that they've failed by making that mistake.
Do you know what? I didn't think that we were going to start this interview with such a what I call a KO comment. But I'm telling you, that seriously knocked us out. That's the truth. So beautifully said, though. How often do we accidentally correct a child based upon what we think is right? Now, the reality is that, as I will agree with what my brother has just been said here, Juggy just said, of course we do know what we're talking about, and thus how we felt when our parents used to correct us, right? Because we're already the mid 40s ourselves.
Yeah.
But what a beautiful comment. You know what? Just play a little. The key that I just heard there, which Juggy said, that is about the learning from the mistake. Because if you truly do not see the learning from what your actions were, then it can be classified as a failure, right? It's the failure is omitted the second you actually learn something from it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So I'm going to take you right back then, my friend. And I said to you, it's a no hold barred. We're going to go right back. If anybody is listening, we will be putting Juggy, he has not been told this yet, but I just tell you live on air. So if you're watching on Facebook live, you'll notice now. I wouldn't mind a few numbers from you, a few words.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem. That's absolutely
brilliant. So that
goes without saying.
That's exactly right. That's what I wanted to hear. Okay, so back to Juggy now. So, Juggy, if I can ask you a simple question. Could you just tell us a little bit about your background? Because really, there's not a lot online to tell us about this. But I just want the next generation to realize that you've hit the height of your success. We're going to touch this in a moment. Being a world phenomenon. Now, we all know the Juggy D dance as well, his shuffle. Now, I spent hours trying to perfect it. Right, and I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to be man enough to actually admit it. And I'm very certain our co-host and individual in the background there, Kasim, has also been sitting there trying to do it as well, right? And every one of you listening as well. If you're lying, that's what you're dying if you're saying no. But the Juggy D shuffle, or whatever it's called now, right? But
it's just the Juggy D dance. That's what everyone tagged it. I used to get messages of, when my song was playing and people used to send me videos and saying, "Buddy, look, your song came on and everyone was trying to do your dance." And it just happened, like when the people asked me, like, "How did you do that? Where did that come from?" And it wasn't rehearsed. It wasn't planned. When we did that shoot that day, I was actually standing at the back because we were capturing a scene of a street dance and stuff.
So what was that track?
So it was Dance With You. Nachna Tere Naal. See, I just wanna dance with you.
Come on, guys! So, look at that unrehearsed, uncalled for, just straight out.
So that was that song, and we shot that video in the high street, pedestrianised high street of Feltham, and that scene there. We had a whole load of street dancers, and they were doing their dance routines and moves and what have you. And I was standing with Rishi, and I said, "This is like a urban Indian track, and no one's doing no Indian dancing." And he looked at me and he said, "So what are you saying?" And I went, "Well, we should do something like that." He said, "Yeah, but I don't dance.
I can't dance."
I said, "Well, I do." He said, "Well, go on and dance then." And I went, all right then. So it was literally like, I didn't even tell anyone. I didn't tell the director or anything. Just while it was happening, I just broke into the dance area where the girl was dancing, and I just started dancing and doing some moves with her. Then the steps came out and everything, and everyone was like, "This is brilliant," because they captured it for it, and they kept it in there, and it was like it needed that in there because I was representing the Punjabi culture and Punjabi Maboli and bringing the Punjabi to that urban track. It was
Punjabi Mahaboli.
Yeah, that's so right, that was what. So it needed to have some Indian dance steps in there, if you want to call it that. It was a little bit kind of like a bit of a mixture of urban Indian dance, but yeah, it went nowadays they call it viral, but I don't know what that was just kind of spread across the world, and everyone was doing that dance move, and it just happened from nowhere. It came from within. It was just mad. It was mad.
I've got to say something to yourself though, personally. I think all of your dance songs, the tracks, but the moves, all come from within. From spending some time with you, from spending some beautiful time with you just recently, just now, this evening as well. I've seen nothing but integrity, honesty, love, jovialness, and actual sheer care. Does that make sense? So in that context, of course, there's tracks. I mean, the most recent track that was done, I think it was when you were addressing. You're addressing an audience. Very recently, it was the comeback from yourselves. All three of you got came back together. I can't remember what the track is now.
Freak.
That's it. Yes, it. Yeah. So when you were sitting there talking about when you were singing on Freaks, the track and the way you addressed the audience in that track again, it wasn't the Juggy D shuffle that we already understand. It was something new, and it caught me again. And I was again mesmerised by you. Once again, there's this movement, and it's the way you. I think it's the way you return your inner integrity out with other people. So thank you very much.
No, thank you. Thank you to all the fans. Thank you to all the listeners that have been listening and supporting our music for all the years there, and have given us this opportunity because a lot of artists forget. And they get this big chip on their shoulder when they've so-called made it, and they forget where they've come from, and they have this big attitude towards the fans, and they forget to realise that if it wasn't for them, they wouldn't be where they are, I remember very early on when I first started out in the music game with Rishi. Rishi was the one that gave me my initial break. So big love to my big bro. He's family to me, and he said to me, Jugs, things are going to change for you big time. Things are going to change for you. But just remember, keep your feet on the ground and let your music do the talking. And that stuck with me from day one. And it never changed. And everyone, even to this day, I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet or gas myself. But everybody that knows me from day one will tell you that I have not changed since I came into this industry. The industry has not changed me. I'm just doing what I love, and I'm the same person I was 17 years ago, and I'm still the same guy now. So, you know, I sit with people, my friends, and, you know, there won't be any moment where I actually will talk about my music unless they ask me about it.
Yes.
Because it's like, you know, I don't need to. It's just what I do for a job.
Yeah.
If I'm coming to dinner to your house, let's talk about something else. I don't want to talk about my music. I talk about that all the time on radio and, you know, on doing shows and stuff. That's my work. So I'm not going to come here and talk about your work. I want to talk about your family, your kids, and what you're up to. When's your next holiday? When are we going on holiday? You know, things like that. Yeah. But normality, I'm a normal human being. I'm just doing something a little bit different to other people that is a little bit more glamorized, only because of radio and TV and stuff like that. You know, initially in the early days, just because you're on TV, everyone thinks you're a millionaire. But I wasn't. You know, I was grafting. It was hard work. Absolutely. It was, you know, I come from a very humble, small background, and my dad worked for British Airways. My mum worked for Lyons Tetley. You know, a factory worker, came here in the 60s and worked and grafted hard, you know, to give us a good life. My brother went to, thank you, my brother went to university. He got very highly educated, and I was the total opposite. Me and him are like chalk and cheese, you know. And my mum and dad wanted me to go to university, and I did go for a short while, but I wasn't very academic, but I was always like, my mind was always ticking. I was always into business and wanting to make money, and you know, I was,
as you said, you know, standing outside Punjab Textiles, selling cassettes
well,
and stuff, right?
Well, that was not actually even my first job. My first job was at the age of 11, and I was doing the morning paper round at 5:30 in the morning. I'd wake up, and the reason I got that job was because I came home one day, and I'm talking about quite a few years ago, and I asked my mum to buy me a pair of Adidas Gazelles, which were £45, right? Wow. And I'm talking about 20 odd years ago. Longer than that. Much longer.
We'll leave that 20.
We'll leave it 20. Yeah. A long time ago, right? And my mum said no to me because I used to love playing football as well. And she said, you're going to be playing football on the street, and there'll be you know, sat down arse within 2 weeks. Yeah. I'm not spending that money. For all English
listeners, that means trashed.
Yeah,
trashed.
Yeah. You're gonna kick them to ruins, you know, within 2 weeks. So I said, yeah, but my friends have got them. And she said, well, maybe their parents can afford to pay that kind of money for them. I'm not going to do it. And I was like, really? I was like, okay. So I went out and got a job.
Really?
I went out and got a job, yeah.
That simple?
That simple. I thought, well, if she's not going to give me the money for them, my mum, right? Well, how am I going to get them? And I wanted them. So my friend had a newspaper shop. His dad had a newspaper shop. So I went there and I said, I spoke to them about it, and they said, I said, do you think I could deliver the paper in the morning? And he said, yeah, come to the shop one day. I'll ask Dad if you can give you a round. So I went there, and he gave me a round that was close to my house, and I'd wake up at 5, and I went home. So after I got the job, he said, Arjun. So he said to me, come down, and for him there was no interview, nothing. He said, if you make it in the morning at this time,
you're in. You're reliable.
You're reliable, right? So I said, okay, cool. So I went home. I told my mum. I said, Mum, I got a job. She looked at me like, what? You've got a job? What are you talking about? Yeah. And I said, yeah. I said, when you wake up in the morning and go to work, she used to wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock, 4:45, and leave home at 5:30 to start, or 5 o'clock, and she used to start at 6 o'clock shift, 6 to 2 in the morning, right? 6 till 2 in the afternoon. So she would leave to walk to Southall Broadway, where her, you know, the pool car used to pick them up. And I said, when you go, we're going to walk together, and I'm going to go off to do my paper round, pick up my papers and do my paper round. And she said, okay, well, if you can get up, then I'll wake you up. Why not?
If any of the listeners are listening, and the kids and the things are thinking about how they can evolve the things in future, grit.
Yeah,
this
get out there, put yourself out there.
Don't get to the top of your tree of everything you do. It's just what Juggy is saying to yourself. This is pearls of wisdom, of magic here.
If you want the moral of the story is, if you want something, go out and get it. Work for it and get it. And that was what happened. I saved my money. I used to get paid like, you know, a few pound a week. So you can imagine how many weeks it took me to save up £45.
Really, yeah.
Right? It took me a long time, but I did it. I saved my money. I bought my Adidas Gazelles, and I took them home, and I put them in front of my mum, and I said, Mum, alele.
Right.
And she went, well done, son. And she patted me on the back, and she said, now you've just learned that if you want something, go out and get it.
So the consistency for the listeners, it's just amazing. You know, honestly, I'm not joking. I don't even want to stop Juggy in the middle of this conversation. I'm infected again. He's got this aura of love and fun and connection with everybody else.
It's just real. It's just real.
Yeah, and I'm not putting it on, by the way.
There's no filter.
No, that's right. There's definitely. I'm not putting it on. For all the listeners who are following us on the Empower Hour, this is Juggy D, Empower Hour, Salam Radio, 106.2 FM. Tune in. If you're watching this back, we'll bring you loads and loads more individuals like this. But tonight we have Juggy D once again. What does that say?
Love life.
Love life. That's it.
Yeah,
so,
love life.
This is so beautiful, Juggy. So, we've got about 6 minutes before we go to our very first break. Do you see how fast it's gone?
Yes.
Did you know we've been live on air for 20 minutes already?
This is what happens, isn't it?
Magic.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, that's right. So, I want to dabble a little bit on a bit more of this grit and this hard work ethic that you've had. So, you started from 11. You've gone on. You've done a paper round.
Loads. I've had so many jobs over the years, worked in so many different industries, all sorts.
So let's speed through. You know, you've gone from 11 years old. Your mum's turned around and said a simple message to you. This is an empowerment hour. This is about talking about the empowerment of your mind, about self-matter. So your mum's turned around and said to you, well, okay, if you can wake up in the morning, son, you can go there. Uncle's you at the shop. He said to me, well, if you turn up here, I can prove that you're going to do the job. You've got the job. So you showed your grit. It took you nearly a year of consistency. Consistency in the sense of in self-belief that I'm going to get there with that job. Now, the question I ask you further, when you were 14 years old, you started selling tapes, the old magical TDK tapes, which we all grew up with, coming down to even the wine shop.
I've still got a box of them at home.
Well, I used to do them at the shops all the time. We used to buy them from Uncle Awan and that as well. He was the biggest supplier in those days. I'm not sure if Nasser and Nazir Awan are listening at some stage. They were our good friends in those days. We used to buy quite a lot from them. So just rolling forward a little bit, and for the last 4 or 5 minutes before we go through, after the break, by the way, audience, we will be talking, and Juggy will probably be dropping a few notes, a few more tracks. He's got a very, very lovely track which kind of meant a lot to him personally, which we will touch on just after this, after the break. We've got another 4 or 5 minutes. So just in connection, if you could just share with us, I mean, before you broke into the music industry, there was obviously a gap. You went to university. You found university wasn't for you. That doesn't have to be everybody's message out there.
No, not at all. Not at all. You know, my parents were always they were very supportive with whatever I did. You know, they always backed me up with whatever I was doing, and they just said one thing to me, which was the main thing that I kind of took with me. It was that whatever you do it to the best of your ability. Wow. Be the best at it. Okay, jo marji karna, jada bhi kam karna, I'm speaking in Punjabi now, whatever, jada bhi marji kam karna, dil la ke kari and give it your all.
So for everybody, that to me is exactly what you said in English, you know, whatever you want to do, put your heart into it.
Put your heart and soul into it and be the best possible that you can be at that. And, you know, and I say this now even to my children, like if, you know, practice makes perfect, you know. My little one is just about to turn 8. She's going to turn 8 this year, and she's been playing the piano for about a year, and she can now play. She's starting to play with 2 hands, and she can read music. I can't read music. My daughter at 7 is doing that, and she gets it wrong sometimes. I said, don't worry, Putter, try again, and she's like, oh daddy, I got it wrong. I said, don't worry, it's all right.
No frustration.
You're learning, and I always drum that into there. Don't worry, you're learning. It's okay to make mistakes. And you're learning. You're
learning how not to do it as well.
Yeah.
Do something else. I love it.
Yeah.
Beautifully said. So in a question just yourself, just because I just love talking to you at the moment already. I'm not joking. I am going to have you back later.
No worries, no problem. Anytime.
Give us the honour of having you here.
Anytime.
Just a thought to myself. You know, you're just about to break into music, and you've come away from university. So you started university, you came back. Baji Ninder, you remember Ninder Joel?
Yes, absolutely. I was a big fan of Achanak.
Achanak, yeah.
Huge.
So we all grew up with Achanak.
Naturally, everyone is.
Naturally, got to give that one. So naturally, yeah. So Baji Ninder. So basically, he
legends,
truly legends, and he had a very similar conversation where he went and became an accountant, and then came home and said, "I'm starting a band."
Yeah.
So when did that moment happen for you?
Well, the music thing happened from a very young age. So my dad working for British Airways for many years, we had the privileges of traveling a lot. So I used to go to India from a very, very young age.
Wow.
And, you know, became very connected through going to India, to my culture, to our music, our everything about Punjabi, you know, boli, ma boli, music and everything. So I found it fascinating. I loved it, and I started buying tapes from the local tape store in India, and I'd take one of my cousins and say, tell me who the latest and best singers are, and you know what I should get, what should I be listening to, and they'd say, yeah, but get this, get that one, you know, Dilshad Akhtar, Ranjit Mani, you know, Sardul Sikandar. I'm talking about old school Punjabi folk music as well, and you know, Yamla Jatt, and so many old school singers, and I used to take them, listen to the track. The ones I liked, I used to write them all out. And if I didn't understand something, I'd say to my mum, "Mum, what does this mean? What's he saying here? I don't understand that word." And I'd write it out. And I used to write in English.
That's very unique.
In Roman.
That's very unique.
We've got
got
it Roman
left, but yeah, Roman English. Yeah. But we've got 1 minute left, did you know?
Oh my God. Okay.
So
that's all right.
That's a very different thing. So actually being able to have the feeling to double check on the actual wording themselves and writing it out in English. So anybody out there who's having a bit of a language challenge, don't be frightened of writing out Roman English.
Absolutely,
right? Is that correct? So we're literally down.
So balle is BALLE. That's it. Simple. You don't need to know how to learn, but you don't need to learn to read Punjabi or write to learn the music.
Right. Wow. I'm on the last 30 seconds, Juggy. So I'm just going to love this break conversation with yourself as well. But this is Salaam Radio. This is 106.2 FM. It's Salaam Radio live on YouTube and Facebook. Please tune in if you're not already tuning in. We're going to be tweeting in a moment very shortly. But we're going to be back at exactly 19:30. That's 7:30. We've got the last 10 seconds. And we're going to talk a little bit further about into Juggy's career and what he's been achieving now. And also what he's looking at in the future. Okay? Cool. So here's a lovely break. Goodbye.
Join us.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
It does not take much to bring some difference. You give some change, which makes a change, because nothing gets mileage like a charity. Just a little change turns into a chain, and before we know it, the results are massive. So give a little to make a big difference. To give donations, call UKIM on 0207 387 2157.
छूटे न कभी तेरा दामन या ख्वाजा अलाउद्दीन वली, रहे तुझ पे फिदा मेरा तन मन धन या ख्वाजा अलाउद्दीन वली। आफ्ताब इल्म हिकमत मोहसिन मुल्क मिल्लत हुजूर शेखुल आलम पीर मोहम्मद अलाउद्दीन सिद्दीकी रहमतुल्लाह अलैह और ख्वाजगान नेरियां शरीफ के हुजूर गुलहाए अकीदत पेश करने के लिए 3 फरवरी बरोज़े इतवार बादज नमाज ज़ोहर जामे मस्जिद घंगोल शरीफ में, जो कि ज़ेर सदारत जानशीन हुजूर शेखुल आलम हज़रत अल्लामा पीर डॉक्टर सुल्तानुल आरिफीन साहब मरकज़ी सजादा नशीन दरबार आलिया नेरियां शरीफ मुनक्कद हो रहा है। आप सब मुहिब्बीन, मुरीदीन और मुतवस्सिलीन से पुरजोर अपील की जाती है कि इस प्रोग्राम में शिरकत करके सवाबे दारैन हासिल करें। अलावाजी पीटरबरा से मर्द और ख़वातीन के लिए अलग अलग फ्री कोचेस का एहतमाम किया गया है। मर्द हजरात इस नंबर पर राब्ता कर सकते हैं 07812442526 और ख़वातीन इस नंबर पर राब्ता कर सकती हैं 07711250953। शुक्रिया।
दोस्ता की परेशान है
जरा कर ना सारा सौदा मुक्या वा मुल्का विच पैसे भेजने
हूं नहीं अमार फूड वाले की फोन खड़का ते फ्री लोकल डिलीवरी कार मंगवा
अला ता उत्थे कै स्पेशल आ
उना की लबई हाइजीन च ग्रेड 5 चीजें चंगियां मियारी ते सस्तियां ते नाले ऑफर ही ऑफर
और क्या
ताजा गोश्त ताजी सब्जियां ते फ्रूट आटा चावल दाला मसाले ते जूस सारे बिल जमा करने गैस ते इलेक्ट्रिक ने टॉप अप भी करने पाकिस्तान पैसे बिल्कुल फ्री भेजने मतलब के एक चिड़ी ने दूध छड़ी ते हर शय लबनी
जने ने आप उतरा
Amar Food Store and Halal Meat 613B Lincoln Road Peterborough telephone 01733 687374.
Imagine if you had access to NHS GP services outside of your surgery's normal hours. With the Peterborough GP Hub, you can. Based at the Boroughbury Medical Centre on Craig Street, PE1 2EJ, the GP Hub is run by local surgeries and offers weekend and evening appointments for patients registered with a GP in the Greater Peterborough area. Booking an appointment is really easy. Simply call your surgery as normal and ask for an appointment at the GP Hub. Visit greaterpeterborough.gps.nhs.uk for more information.
Do you own a restaurant or takeaway? Cater Fair is an expert supplier of new and used commercial catering equipment. Visit caterfair.co.uk for quality equipment on sale at the lowest prices, or call us on 01733 310 115 or visit us at 11 Royce Road, Fengate, Peterborough.
barakatuh. My name is Khalid Siddiq.
I'm Saif Adam.
Salam alaikum, this is Baraka Blue.
Yo, 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 this is your boy Harris J, and make sure you guys stay tuned to Salam Radio 106.2 FM.
You're listening to Peterborough's community radio, Salam Radio. Salam Radio 106.2 FM.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Suki Wahiwala, your host this evening for Salam Radio's Empower Hour. We have just had the most amazing half an hour already with Juggy D. He's in the studio. If you can see him on live on air, you can see via FB.
Salam. Buddy Sasrikal, and hello to everyone that's listening, and everyone in Peterborough and wherever you're listening. If you're online or on Facebook, big up to yourselves. Thank you for tuning in.
Now, we have listeners from all over the country and all over the world, because this goes out from our own local Peterborough, but it also goes out across the platform with all the radio stations and all the also the internet channels as well, and plus then it also gets social media as well. So we've just got a lovely message earlier on. Can I read it out to yourself, Jackie?
Yeah,
if you don't mind?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we've got is basically there's a question by a young lady called Alia, and she's obviously somebody who's following you. She's WhatsApped it to us. Thank you very much. Everybody else who would like to WhatsApp as well is 07745 278 978, and that's Salam Radio's direct WhatsApp. Please do ask any questions, and I'll read it out a little bit to yourself. Basically, brilliant choice of guest, the most humble artist out there.
Thank you.
Juggy, this is the truth. Tuned in for the first time from Scotland.
Wow.
And this is
I love Scotland.
Yes, absolutely. You've got a massive worldwide following, so I fully understand that.
Thank you.
Okay, so now, Juggy, it says basically, in a crux, it says that she recognizes that you do so much hard work, out there promoting yourself, doing gigs, doing live events, promotions, radio, etc., travel all over the world, releasing tracks, putting so much effort into the studio. But she says on social media, you have a little gap between what you're up to and what you're not up to, based upon other artists that are that sort of style and really heavy hitting, sort of like high expertise like yourself. So the question arises that is that a decided conscious decision to give a filter, or alternatively is it not? And before we ask the question, I also we're going to touch base and she says Alia says congratulations on my baby nephew, your baby boy, number.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Alia. Thank you. It's absolute pleasure having our third child. He's a little bundle of joy. I've got 2 daughters already, and now I'm the proud father of a baby boy. And I love saying this, my son. I've now got my son as well. So it's beautiful.
Complete.
Yeah, it's a complete family, and there's 2 girls and a boy, and me and my wife, and that's just the 5 of us, which is beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful.
And so basically, there's a very similar conversation. I have a lot of adoration for that, because I had 2 daughters, then I had a son, and then I had a daughter as well.
Yes,
so it's very similar. Life is amazing. So just on a question reference, by the way, just to anybody else who was listening, we were on the day that actually your son was born.
We were, I was meant to be in the studio on the 15th, and my son was born at home in the bedroom, delivered by myself. Yes, not the first time either. The second time I delivered my first daughter, my first child as well. Not by choice again. The most scariest thing.
All you dads.
All you dads.
You better take.
Yeah, take note. My name is now Juggy the Midwife D. The singing midwife.
Yeah, Juggy Mid.
Yeah, exactly. So it was all kind of quite scary both times, but when you look back at it, it's the most beautiful thing in the world to have your child take their first breath of life in your arms. You can't beat that feeling. It's just amazing.
I think it's just purely it's
bliss. It's a blessing. It's a bliss, and it's blessing. It's phenomenal. But going back to what Ali was saying, is whether it's a conscious decision. It is a very conscious decision. I don't always put up stuff about what I'm doing, because I've been in the industry for like 16, 17 years. I'm quite content with where I'm at. Yes, there's a lot of things that I still want to achieve within the music scene. I think we hit a huge peak. We created a genre many years ago.
That's an understatement. I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but it's an understatement. Created a genre. That is absolutely true. My own wife was talking to you, she was talking to you, said there was an era when we were listening to either English music or Indian music, and there was a Bhangra scene as well. But the amalgamation was something completely new, and that's what the whole
Rishi Rich Project. That's what we did. Yeah. Right? And we took it all around the world, and it was beautiful. Just to think that now, you know, it's still there's loads of people doing urban Indian music now, you know, that are fusing Punjabi and English, and there's so many great singers and from UK, Canada, India, everywhere that are doing all of that now.
But you must have some adoration from these people, because
you
paved the way.
We paved the way. Oh yeah, absolutely. You know,
some time ago.
Yeah, and it's an absolute. You know, it makes you feel really, really good about what you've achieved in life. You know, and you look back and say, yeah, we created that. We started that genre. You know, and it's very humbling to hear people like that say, you know, we've been following, and even your wife, when she was talking about it, I was so humbled by, you know, her beautiful words and what she was saying, and it's just it just kind of takes you into a zone, and you think, wow, we did that, I did that, you know, I was part of that crew that did that, you know, it's amazing. But yeah, and you know, going back again to that, what she was asking, you know, normally I always do that in January. I take some time off and switch off from social media, just spend time with the family, and January's you know, in comparison to the rest of the year, is a quieter month in the entertainment industry, because not many shows happening. So I take off some time, and this time it was a little bit extra special because obviously we're having a baby, and you know, we couldn't have planned it any better. He came in the middle of the month, and I'm here, hands-on dad, you know, doing everything. And I said to my wife when the baby was born, I said, right, you park yourself on the sofa and in the bedroom and just do what you need to do with the little man, and just recover. Just get yourself on your feet, and I'll do everything else.
And then you have taken kind of like
I've taken full control. Yeah, me and my daughters are sailing the ship. Yeah,
that's an amazing mission, an amazing message for everybody to be.
And it's not easy, let me tell you that, but I do it with a smile, and I love it. You know, I do his nappies, I do his baths as well, and sort the kids out, do their hair in the morning, their gutta, and get them ready. Yeah, I do it all, mate. I do it all. Yeah.
So you're doing all the good things.
Yeah. I do my daughters. I do my daughters' plait in the morning, and get their breakfast ready, get them dressed for school and everything, and drop them off and pick them up.
Do you know, honestly, this must be within itself. You're going to look back at this, and it must be something.
Mate, you know those hours and those minutes and those the time I spend with them is so beautiful, because we all know people that leave home at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning and don't get home until 6:30, 7 at night. How much do they see their kids? Hardly anything in the week, right? They get a couple of days on the weekend, and even that, you know, the kids have got things to do, and you know, you might have something to do as well. So you don't really get to spend that much time with them. No. I'm so fortunate, touch wood, and I've been able to live my dream, firstly, which is the music, and on top of that, be able to spend so much time with my little children and help them grow, you know, into great little human beings. And you know, I'm a part of that journey heavily, so I'm very blessed to be able to, you know, be part of that journey, and I love it. And that's why I said, like, you know, I do it with a smile, because I'm fortunate, and there's so many people that would love to be in my position. So you know, I'd rather be doing my daughter's hair at 7:30, 7:45 in the morning than sitting behind a desk at 7:30 in the morning.
You know? I'm not joking, but this is it's a truly inspiring interview, and especially when somebody who's so highly regarded within the music industry and the generations, even the individuals. We've had another text coming in from Moses, basically Mirza, who's basically saying congratulations to Juggy D on the arrival, and also he says that he goes on to say his love. Baby boy, love from Mo Bodyworks, which is obviously his gym. And
cool.
Originally from Hayes, London himself.
Oh, wicked! That was down the road from where I was. I was in Southall most of my life.
Yeah.
So Hayes was, that was. I used to go to Hayes College, actually, Uxbridge College, Hayes site. So yeah, Hayes is very connected. I'm very connected.
Very much. Yeah. So beautifully connected. And we've got another person. It's going ballistic at the minute. Hi, question for Juggy D. If it's okay, just to ask a question again.
Absolutely.
Because I think people are loving it. You know, this is what it's all about. So it says greatest artist. So this is from a person who, well, she didn't give their name. Doesn't matter. But we've got My question for Juggy D. Great artist, great voice, beautiful family. Please share a picture of your baby, which obviously he'll do in his own time.
I will in my own time.
Yeah. Also, my question is, how much songwriting do you actually do as part of your daily routine? And more importantly, second says, and how does inspiration come to you? Which I think is a really powerful part. Or do you prefer collaboration with other writers?
No,
nice question.
Great question. Most of my back catalogue I've written all myself. All the features that I've done I've written myself, and I didn't even know I could write.
That is so inspiring.
I didn't know I could write.
Coming from somebody who thinks he's not an academic.
Yeah, and
thinks he's not an academic.
and I tell you honestly, so I started off when I was singing. I started off at school. 14 years old, very into music from a very, very young age, mimicking other artists, singing their songs, cover tracks, and just singing around the house, in the bathroom and everything. And my dad used to be standing outside going to my mum, listen to this, and I would be singing a classic Kuldeep Manak song or something like that. So
they used to secretly listen to
they used to listen to him like Gane Gonda, they always knew that I had a passion for music. And then my dad, we'd have a small family gathering, or somebody'd come over for dinner, and after dessert I'd sneak off, and I knew, because it happened once before, and after that I knew it was going to happen every single. He put me on the spot, and I'd hear him call me, and I'd go, oh God, and I know what he's going to make me do, and he's like, Uncle Lugarasana. Basically, sing from your uncle, and I'd be so shy. And when I was about 11, 12 years, I was very short, very chubby, and my mum used to call me a kaddu, which is. Are
you talking about me again? No. Very short, very chubby. What's the matter with you, Jenny?
No. And anyway, my mum used to really, she used to kind of sit there and just kind of be. Looking at me like, oh, you poor thing, again, he's going to put you on the spot. Anyway,
come on, I'm glad on that one. What was it like though?
Oh, nerve-wracking. Like, I was scared. I was, trembling in my shoes, in my boots, because I was really nervous to do it, because I didn't think I had a good voice. And but they loved it. They seemed to like it, and they were like, you know what, he sounds great. Tu gaya kar, hor gaya kar. And I was like, okay. And I'm glad that he did that, because it helped me.
For the same reason.
He helped me get over my shyness, and I do look back at that, and I do think that my dad played a big part in,
thank you, Uncle G,
in bringing me out of my shell to become a singer. And as time went on, I used to sing more and more around friends, and they used to say to me, Jugs, you need to sing more, because you need to find and get a record out there. And I was like, I don't know where to go, I don't know, and I was 14 when I did my first stage show in school. I entered a talent competition, and Channi, uncle from Alaap,
wow.
He was one of the judges, and his daughter was in my year at school, and she'd played keys. Mona, yeah. Okay. So she played keys, and there was a few other friends of ours who were musicians. Anyway, I got them all together and said, right, we're going to enter this competition. And they went, right, okay. So I play the tabla, she plays keys. He did. What are you going to do? Because I didn't play any instruments then. And I went, I'm going to sing. And they went, what? You're going to sing? Nah. I went, yeah. So we started rehearsing, and they were like, oh my God. You can actually, you've got a vibe.
He's the next generation, and he can speak Punjabi and sing really with a good accent as well.
And we entered it, and we won. I came first in the singing category. And
just to clarify something, because it's actually quite alien to the smaller cities, right?
Yeah.
So you're talking about, in your normal school, there was an Indian...
I'm from Southall originally, right? Born and raised. So yeah, well, it wasn't an Indian show; it was a talent competition. So you could enter in music, singing, dance, drama, whatever you wanted to do.
But you had Channi sing from Alaap as one of the judges.
Yeah,
that's what I mean by the
because it was a heavily Asian populated school.
Got it.
So that was part of the reason. And I entered, I won, and I came first. And then I was invited by Channi uncle to his studios. And if you look at some of the old TDK tapes, like his old albums, I'm in the backing vocals. I did backing vocals for some of his some of his albums.
For Alaap stuff?
Yeah.
So this is like the
put us on
Pataka?
Cham Cham Nachdi Fera. There was
with
Asha Bhosle. We were on the backing vocals on some of those songs. There was a few others. I can't remember all of them now, but I've got them all at home.
Oh my goodness! So you've actually been in the presence of an era where Channi Blige basically he changed the industry again.
Yeah.
Because he changed the vibe.
I was little then, and then he helped us set up a band properly. From that band, we then used to perform at charity shows, and we used to open before Alaap used to come on. We used to go and do a few songs, and then Alaap used to come on, and so we were like the opening act, and he used to give us that was our opportunity to show to show off our little bit of talent that we had then.
Well, our vision is later this year we'll be bringing in Blige Channi.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah. He's like a father figure. He's an uncle. He's great. He's a lovely guy.
Godfather of
he is, man. He is. He's got a lot of credit, and he did a lot for the music industry, and he still is.
But back to yourself then. Back to yourself. So there you are. You're winning these talent competitions.
Yep.
And I want to just hark back a little bit towards your career a little bit, because would you believe we've got 10 minutes left?
Oh my God, we haven't got enough time to talk about everything
again.
God.
Oh my God. I want to bring it a bit closer to today.
Yeah.
And well, actually, I'll go a bit myth. When you actually started to make your brand and your name, when you became a household brand, Juggy D and the Rishi Rich Project and also with Jay Sean. And just a big hi, big out to Amit and Narup, who just did the launch.
Yes, big shout to them. I was actually meant to be there. I believe you were there, weren't you, at the Turbans and Tales
book.
Excuse me. Congratulations to both of them. They're like brothers to me. Known them for many years. And Narup used to actually take me to a lot of my shows. He used to tour manage for me and Jay, and then he did it for me a lot as well. So they're like family, man. They're big time.
Straight over from you guys here. Turbans and Tales. If you haven't bought the book, go
get it. Go check it out, man. It's amazing.
And one more conversation about yourself. So your first track that you hit. I mean, over here, Alia mentioned
Nahin
Jeena.
Yes. Yeah.
So come on.
I co-wrote that.
How did it happen?
So basically, I was singing in a pub every Friday night. I was
for all the young listeners over there, pub is a naughty place,
and there's not many of them around now anyway. No. So yeah, but anyway, I used to sing in a pub called the Red Lion in Southall, opposite the police station, and it was a cool little joint. We knew the owners. They were English owners, and they allowed me to come in on a Friday. And sing there, because I asked them. I just said, look, it's heavily populated with Asians, this area. Most of the punters are Indians. How would you feel if I came in and did a set on a Friday night? And they said,
a natural centre there, and
literally straight on. And I said, look, and they said, all right, how much do you want? What's the deal? And I went, no, I don't want no money. I said, I just want to come and perform. Just give me a couple of beers at the end of the night. And they went, okay. Yeah, done deal. Come this Friday. So that's how it started, and I started performing there.
Let that be a lesson for everybody who wants something. Sometimes you have to give to get.
Absolutely.
You have to invest, don't you? Yes.
And Indians are quite generous sometimes. When they had a few pints, they throw a few tenors over here. So I used to make a bit of money like that. And but the main reason I did that was to get positive and negative feedback on our performance, and learn from it. So and the other thing I used to do was I used to do a lot of, at that time I never had my own songs. So I used to do cover tracks. So I used to sing my favourite songs. And if somebody requested a song that I didn't know, that would become my homework for the week after.
Oh wow!
So I'd then go away and learn that song, and then say, "Buddy, come back next week. Right?
So now you've actually helped the establishment
the establishment, because I'm bringing the punters back, right? So we started off doing an hour, then we went to 2 hours, then we went to lock-ins. So we were there, and we used to,
by the way, is after 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
You in.
That's it. And they didn't want me to go home. They wouldn't want me to go home, and I used to wear a kurta, chadra, a turban, and everything. So
basically,
I used to
they
do
thought
the full on
monarchia.
Oh yeah. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. And we used to do this. Song. Ek pub ne bas karati 100 pabban di. And there was a song that Ek tar ne bas karati 100 tara di. There was that song that was, I think it was by Satrang or Saki, I think it was. Anyway,
Saki.
But, yeah, we changed that. I changed the lyrics for that to Ek pub ne bas karati 100 pabban di.
So basically, just for an English direction there, in case you're listening and you're thinking about it in America, thinking what's going on here. Yeah. Basically, he's saying that one pub
has shut down all the other pubs because of what we're doing here on a Friday night. Right. Yeah, so it was brilliant. And we used to get loads of people in there. Loads of my mates used to come and everything. So yeah, that's where it started. And then one of my friends introduced me to Rishi. He mentioned me to Rishi because he bumped into Rishi after a long time. They used to go to college together, and bumped into Rishi, and he said, "Oh, what you up to?" Blah blah blah. Cut long story short, he said, "I'm just coming to the end of finishing my album, but I'm looking for another singer." And he went, "I know someone. He's my mate's." He's my friend. He's my younger brother's mate, meaning me. And he's been singing since I've known him. You need to check him out. You should meet. So we met. we clicked, and we got in the studio. I remember seeing him like on a weekend, and he invited me in on the Monday to the studio. I auditioned for him, went and sang Pot Sardana De by Balwinder Safri.
Wow, that is a track.
Yeah, it's a great track. Bahute dukhiyo chalde kaum badle, bande kauma de jehde daleer hunde, kaun puchda kaਵਾਂ ਤੇ ਗਿੱਦੜਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਕੈਦ ਪਿੰਜਰੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ੇਰ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਵਈ ਰਸਤੇ ਖੁੱਲੇ ਹੋਰ ਰਸਤੇ ਖੁੱਲੇ ਕਰ ਦੂੰ ਸਾਰੀ ਗਲੀ ਬਾਜ਼ਾਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਸ਼ੇਰਾਂ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਘੁੰਮਦੇ ਫਿਰਦੇ ਪੁੱਤ ਸਰਦਾਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਸ਼ੇਰਾਂ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਘੁੰਮਦੇ ਫਿਰਦੇ ਪੁੱਤ ਸਰਦਾਰਾਂ ਦੇ
Come on team, you know where that's coming from.
That was the song that put me on the map, because Rishi actually, I didn't get to sing that much of it. He stopped me halfway through and said, okay, that's enough, come out. And I went, oh God, he didn't like it. And that's what I'm thinking. And he looked at me and he went, I love your style, but we're going to not do that style of Punjabi music. We're going to go pop. He goes, I want you to sing on my album. And I was like, are you serious? Yeah, on the album, which was called Simply Rich, which came out on Ishq record label by Bali Sagu.
Totally remember
in 2002, and the song was Nahin Jeena. I co-wrote it with Daljit Iceman Tolli, and we wrote that song together. And I didn't even know I could write at that point. And he made me come into the studio. He said, sit down. And Iceman, Daljit, he had a complete block. He said, I can't finish this song. I'm going to take it away. And Rishi went, no, you ain't going nowhere. It's now. You both sit out there, go for a walk, come back, and me and him finished it. We went out, and I started. That's
showing you the presence that Rishi had in people's lives. And
absolutely.
There's one thing about one that I was listening to, because obviously I heard in the early days when we go back. So this is not about Rishi today, but if we go back right back to Rishi's early stuff like Love to Love and all that sort of stuff, he didn't really want much Punjabi in there.
No, that was all Bollywood remixes.
Yeah, for you.
And shall I tell you something?
Like,
you know, when I met him, I didn't have no idea about Love to Love or Too Cool, because I was not into Bollywood music.
Oh my goodness!
I had no idea what he had done. And so I just went to just meet some guy that makes music. I didn't know how much credibility and how many albums he'd already done before I met him. So, which was a good thing, I think, because I didn't go with any fear. You know, I just met him as, okay, this guy we might be able to click, and we might be able to help each other out, like give me a little break, you know, do a song.
You're thinking you might do a track,
yeah, and we did Nahin Jeena. It was the last song on the album. And when Rishi delivered the album to Bali, he went through all the songs and he got to the last song and he went, who the hell is that? He said, who is that? He said, oh, this is some new guy from Southall that I've been introduced to, and we done. He said, mate, that's not your last track on the album, that's track one.
Track one?
We want to shoot a video.
Look at Alia, she's specifically,
and that is where
2002, right?
Juggy D was born.
Yeah, absolutely. The Juggy D, by the way.
That's when he was born.
Was that 2002?
That was 2002, 16 years ago.
16 years.
17 now. We're in 2019.
How have you frozen yourself? You haven't aged at all, right? You know the way he jumps and
Thank you so much. Do you know what? Let me tell you something. Music and children keep you young.
Keep you young.
Yeah, music and children. So you need to go back into music. No, see, the thing is, I'm singing nursery rhymes now. Yeah. I'm singing nursery rhymes and doing kid stuff with my children. So I'm living my youth again.
You know we're gonna have to put him on the spot for that one, don't you? Right. So come on, let's have one of these nursery rhymes. Come on. This is Juggy D, everybody. It's Alaap Radio, and he's gonna bang us out a nursery rhyme that he sings on his first personal home.
Jingle bells, jingle. This was at Christmas time. Jingle all the way. We do all. And Humpty Dumpty's out on the wall. All of it. All of it. We do it all. We do it all.
Juggy, this is such a beautiful time, but I can't believe where the time's going. We've got 4 minutes left.
We might have to do a part 2 to this.
I think we will. I think the team's going to be very happy for that. I think if you guys who are listening, another one from Moses again. Moses Mirza saying thank you. On our live broadcast on Facebook Live. And so just a question to yourself, Juggy, because I do want to bring it a bit closer to there. I'm having so much fun, but I just don't want to ruin the justice of what we've got to achieve. So Suki Wahiwala here, please, if you want to get involved, do get involved. It's 07745 278 978 Salam Radio. This is the Empower Hour show every Tuesday evening between 7 and 8 in the evening with your host, Suki Wahiwala, here from Peterborough. So one question here, Juggy, just because the vibe is so amazing. I want you to. There was a track which we were talking about on the way in the car. It'd be really lovely if you just drop a few tracks, because I'd a few lyrics if you can, because it'll be a blessing for us all.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do you a song that is not released yet. It's a brand new track. And you know, a lot of people say to themselves that, you know, "Main hun peeni nahi. I'm not going to drink anymore." I don't drink anymore. I used to. I've been there, done it.
Beautiful journey.
Yeah, you know, I'm in a good space. You know, I've been, you know, it's the Empower Hour, so I've been through a lot of. I've been through some dark times.
Yes.
I've come through, and you know, you make mistakes, you learn from them, you move on. You know, I'm still learning. I'm still learning. Okay, I'm not the end product, and I don't think I ever will be. You know, you're still learning till the day you die. Every day you're learning. You're learning something. You know, about yourself.
Well said.
And you know, the thing is just to kind of try and be the best version of yourself.
Yes,
you know,
that's the key.
Dil saaf, man saaf, keep a clean mind, clean heart, don't do bad to people, you know, and work hard at what you do. There's a song that we're doing, it's ready, we just need to shoot the video. It's coming out real soon. It's with a very, very hard working producer called Deep Jandu from Toronto, Canada, and it features my bro Roach Killer.
Legend as well.
Legend as well. Yeah, he's been in the game for a long time.
But you know, you're his kind of a senior in the context of it.
We're all brothers, man. It's all good. It's all love, man. It's all love. But we've got a song called Daru Na Pi, right? And I'll sing you a few lines from it. It's going to be coming out soon. I don't know what the release date is. Well, check out my socials, The Real Juggy D on Instagram, Juggy D on Twitter, and yeah, I'll let you know when it's going to come out. It goes,
go for it.
Daru na pi, tenu marugi, marugi, marugi. Daru na pi, tenu marugi, marugi, marugi. It's 7:30 on the clock. Gaddi karti unlock. वो फरते लाया चमकीला आज करना पूरा हीला करके इकट्ठे सारे यार हाईवे ते चलदी कार पैग जदों लगदे चार फिर गड्डी विच बन जांदी बार 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 बोतल सारी लेंदे पी बेबी on the count of 3 ਉਹ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਪੀਣਾ ਛੱਡ ਦੇ ਚੋਤੇ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸੀ Daru na pi.
So the message there very clearly is don't drink. That's the bottom line. Thank you, Juggy.
And if you do drink responsibly.
Do you know, we're down to the last 30 seconds. So what is Juggy D up to now? I know you're doing
loads of music. Just follow me on my socials. I'll be putting loads of posts out. I've been away for a month because I'm a little one. But yeah, Juggy D on Twitter, The Real Juggy D on Instagram. But thank you so much. I just want to say thank you to Salaam Radio. Thank you, Suki Paji. Thank you for having me. And you know what? We should do a part 2 to this. We're going to do a part 2. Because there's so much more that I wanted to talk about. And
got loads more people there. We're going to do a part 2, so we're going to move on with this one. Yes. Thank you very much. Salaam Radio. Good night.